Hey guys, today I'm going to do a review on a new crossbow I'm going with this year. I have not had a Barnett before. I've had some other brands which I'll discuss later and give you my opinions on those. This is a Whitetail Hunter STR. There's a few things that I liked about this setup. Of course, with the STR, with the step-through riser, I think I'm going to like that, not having that foot stirrup sticking out. It obviously makes it more compact. Now I will upgrade the scope. I'm going to go with the scope that I already have. I always upgrade my scopes anytime I get a crossbow. I think this one comes in about 6.5 pounds, and that's this reason why I went with this year. It's going to be a little lighter than the one I had previously of last year. Couple Headhunter bolts. I have shot those before. They're pretty good. Step through riser here. This is something I think that I'm going to like. And it comes with a couple field tips, pull rope, and some outer wrenches. Probably got hundreds of those. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put some blue tape on here. Like that. Alright, let's look at this riser here. Limbs look pretty good. We do have string stops on here. Everything lines up, looks good there. These cams, I'm not 100% sure that is aluminum cams. So that's a little, may concern me a little bit. But other than that, but I do love this right here with the step-through riser. So I'm going to check these just to make sure these are good and snug and tight before we put the aftermarket scope on. That one was just a tad loose, so you got to watch out for that. Hopefully I don't have to come back and put threaded tape on them. Okay, on the cable slide, obviously this model does not have a cable slide. That'd be the first crossbow I've never had that didn't have a cable slide. Interesting. So And if you look at the directions here on the step-through riser on the list of all the parts, it doesn't list one, and there is another section that says not on all models. So you're not gonna, the cable is just gonna ride in this slot here. That concerns me on how that's going to wear on the string, sliding back and forth. Okay, I went ahead and just put the aftermarket scope on here, and I think that's going to be about right. Okay, so now we're outside today, and we got the crossbow put together. And this is my youngest daughter. She's kind of helping out. She's helping some stuff with my dad. So we're going to fire some shots down here. I have shot it a few times just to make sure I'm close with the scope, but it's not totally sighted in. I was just shooting it freehand. Okay, we've got it loaded up with a bolt. And there's one thing that is different from all the other crossbows I've had. This had this like a finger type retainer here. This has like a toothbrush type retainer. So I think I'm gonna like that. Perfect. Okay. Shot 2. 30 yards. Perfect. Not gonna get much better than that. Look at this. So, I would say that's perfect. This is my fault, shooting the wrong line. That's 30 yards. Okay, so let's review. I'm gonna give my opinions of what I think so far, and then I'm gonna compare it to some of the previous bows I've had, and of likes and dislikes. And I'm gonna say this trigger, in my opinion, is better, crisper, much smoother than any of the other crossbows I've had. The safety, I'm going to say, is better than any of the other crossbows I've had. It's smooth, it's quieter, a little bit easier to move from safe to fire when you're trying to be really quiet when you got a deer real close to you. So that matters a lot. I like that. My concerns would be the cable slide, the cams. Doesn't look like they're machined out of aluminum. So how is that going to hold up with durability? Everything else, of course, I added some of these dampeners on here too, which helps with the vibration. Speaking of vibration, the bolts that came with it were quite lighter than what I'm shooting today, which to me has made a big difference on the vibration I'm getting back. And I wouldn't say that it's the least vibration I've felt since some other models I've had. It's not the worst, but I wouldn't say it's probably the best. So I would say that would be the only thing that I would say that that is not better than all the previous crossbows that I've had, and the concerns of the cams and the cable slide. The stock, everything here, I love it. You got a little bit of adjustment on this butt pad. I'm real short arms. I don't like a lot of length in my crossbow, so it fits me perfect. and the step through riser. I really like it. Like I said, it just another thing on that foot stirrup. Like I talked about, that your vibration, a lot of times you're going to have to go back and check stuff because a lot of the bolts would get loose, and then you would start getting even more noise. So I'm going to have to give it a thumbs up, in my opinion, and we may update it later after I hunt with it, and hopefully harvest some deer with it this year, and we'll see how it holds up. But so far I would say I'm pleased with it. Some of the other bows, if you wanted to compare, I've had a PSE Fang several years ago. I also have a backup bow, which is a Carbon Express blade, I believe it is, which is it's been a fine bow. I've killed a lot of deer with it. I've had a Bruin, I believe it was the 410, I believe. It was actually a really good bow. It was just way too heavy. Probably one of the quietest bows for that speed that I've ever shot. Very smooth, just the weight. That's the reason why I had to get something lighter. And it was just really too heavy for what I like. I like something compact, light, because I carry a lot of gear with me when I go, and I'm small framed, so, and older, so that's what I like. Center point. Forgot about this center point. Center point is what I hunted with last year. I think it was a Mercenary 370, I believe, and solid bow. Don't have any complaints there. I would say, the safety, the trigger was a downgrade to me to this. Other than that, I can't say anything bad there. Solid bow. Again, weight was up a little bit. I wanted something a little bit lighter, and I believe this is going to fit the bill for me this year, and we'll see how it does. A few tips I'll throw at you before we go, just to go back over again. Checking these screws on the scope rail. I had that happen on my Carbon Express. These got loose. This was wobbling side to side, so I Teflon the tape on the screws to secure that better from backing out and getting loose. Foot stirrup, same thing. Main screw going on to the riser and to the stock, like we did in the beginning. Those things you just want to definitely want to check. Now, of course, today I shot a heavier bolt today with 125 tips to add more weight. To me, that add more weight, which I see in a lot of videos, is it quietens the bow down a little bit. And these are probably coming in about 450 grains, give or take. Alright, I believe that's going to wrap up the review on this Whitetail Hunter STR step through riser model. If you have any questions or comments, just put it right down there, and we'll answer them the best we can. See you on the next one.